Hey, what's up everyone? Moses here, and today I'm bringing you my Vaal Double Strike or Double Strike Scion um, that I made on my solo self-found adventure in Incursion League. Vaal Double Strike or Double Strike was buffed so that now it adds physical damage against bleeding enemies, and at level 20 you see it's 113 to 169 additional physical damage that just being straight up added to your weapon, and makes quite a bit of a hefty damage increase overall. So makes it a very attractive kind of like skill to start using. So yeah, I found a couple of things. One of them was this beautiful shaper stat stick that I'm able to use, and yeah, I mean it's got pretty much everything. And yeah, decided to make myself some kind of a melee attack skill build. Vaal Double Strike was a very nice choice. So we got all the extra damage mods here, some crit multi, some attack speed, and all that stuff. Um, so yeah, Vaal Double Strike. It starts off as a like you can start off using Double Strike from the very beginning. You get it, I believe, sometime in Act 1 super early, either from level 1 or level 4, something like that. Make sure you have yourself a Vaal Double Strike version and just start owning with skills with, with chance to bleed, with support skills like chance to bleed, maim, um, added fizz, melee fizz, ancestral call, um, melee splash. All these support gems are going to work just fine. Onslaught, as you're starting out to get that movement speed bonus and all that stuff. And later we're going to get that through a flask. I decided to make a Scion so I can take advantage of, well, pretty efficient tree overall, and the Marauder and the Slayer Ascendancy. We got ourselves the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is just generally just passively generating you endurance charges whenever you get hit, which is pretty much all the time, and you get yourself a bunch of endurance charges and some damage per endurance charge, as well as the cannot be stunned and 1000 to accuracy rating, which makes it so that you don't even need to worry about accuracy whatsoever. And Slayer, for obvious reasons, it's just an awesome, you know, melee class ascendancy. You get your Culling Strike, your Overleech, which means that even when you're at full life, you are continuing to leech life per second until the leech effects are over. And that's for a very, very long duration. So you always have some sort of sustain as you get into the map and start hitting and destroying stuff. You're constantly leeching, and it's pretty hard to kill you unless you're getting one-shotted or something. So very, very good defensive and offensive with the Slayer and the Culling Strike and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff. When it comes to leveling, we are Scion, so we're gonna start. I started as, melee damage, went straight into the life nodes, and started grabbing attack speed. Went down to the duelist side of the tree, grabbed all these melee dual wielding nodes and some life, and then went on to the left side of the tree, grabbed all the melee damage, the life, and then started going down here, grabbed all the dual wielding nodes, right, the sword cluster here, and then just basically filled in all the life nodes for sustain, and went straight into this sword cluster right here, and later on started filling in all the crit and crit multi here, all the crit nodes over here, and then just picked up some jewel nodes when I was able to later down the road craft a bit of nice jewels. We have some melee damage, some crit multi, some attack speed. Nothing too crazy. This is solo self-found. I did get this, which is pretty sweet. crit multi-attacks with swords, fizz damage with swords, and 10 to all res, which fills in quite nicely for resistances for this character. Here we got some life, some crit chance of fizz damage while dual wielding, and yeah, I believe that would be it. The character is 92 right now, so you know, it's not, yeah, outside the realm possibility. You leveled up a little bit more, and then you can grab maybe a frenzy, maybe another jewel socket right here, maybe a couple life nodes. Of course, I will leave the tree in the description. When you first level up, you do want to grab yourselves the Slayer Ascendancy first. You want to get that as soon as you can for the great survivability and leech and culling strike and all that stuff. And then after Uber Lab, you can respec with the Path of the Marauder. Merc Lab, you're grabbing the Juggernaut, and then Path of the Marauder after Uber Lab. Very, very smooth. This character, I believe I leveled up in about just under 7 hours, maybe 6.5 to 7 hours of leveling, which is for me pretty fast. And generally I started leveling up characters faster and faster, which feels pretty good because, you know, I've been playing the game for about a year now, and I remember when I first started out, it took me maybe 2 days to level up a character, like an 8-hour session, and then another 8-hour session. You know, across 2 days I was leveling up characters, and now I've managed to cut down the leveling process for, you know, by quite a bit. And yeah, it feels very satisfying that you start like making your own builds, such as this one right here. I mean, I don't know, when it comes to trees, how innovative and like amazing it is. It seems to me now, after playing this game for a while, it's a little, you know, kind of straightforward tree. You know, just grabbing all the life that we can get throughout the tree and grabbing all the damage that we can get around the tree, and you know, some attack speed here and there. One note I would like to say about leech, I do have on this ring 0.29% of physical attack damage leech as mana. We're doing just pretty much physical attack damage. The only elemental damage we get is pretty much through this, which is also why I opted not to take this cluster. This is just because I just need 220 dexterity, and I didn't really know this dragon sword requires 220 dex, so we have a little bit of a dexterity node right here. So initially I went for this cluster, but I optimized a little bit and removed, because we're not, you know, full elemental build, so we're not really getting all the benefits from this, you know, elemental damage with attacks nodes. So we just mostly want to try and increase our physical damage. What else is there to say? Let's talk about gear and links. Currently, I'm running Dreadbeak, which is a fated unique of Redbeak, and it makes for a very nice sword. Of course, I'm playing solo self-found. You're probably going to be able to get a pretty reasonable sword that is going to be much better than mine, for, you know, whatever price you're going to find that you can afford. But this is the best sword I've found, like, you know, I have. So that's that's just the sword I'm using right now. Right, so we got this, the links here, we got ourselves, I'm leveling up this multi-strike here. We got a cast when damage taken in feeble, and I'm just leveling up a multi-strike here for some swaps, trying it out here and there. In the gloves, we have faster attacks, blood magic, leap slam is our movement skill, and fortify. Over here I got blasphemy with assassin's mark, which provides us with the, you know, power charges and the rest of the things assassin's mark provides. We got a stone golem here for some life regen. When I'm, you know, doing lab or such, it's nice to have, but basically I'm not really using that. I'm using the ice golem actively, and I got a portal skill here. When it comes to the main double strike links, we have double strike with chance to bleed to allow us to get the, you know, added physical to bleeding enemies, as well as, you know, the rest of the damage mods that it provides. Ruthless, melee splash, ancestral call. Actually, I did swap out ancestral call for another mole multiplier for Ruthless. Initially I was running Ancestral Call and Melee Splash, but I removed Ancestral Call and just started running Ruthless. So I believe I'm doing more damage this way, and the AoE is just fine after a certain level. It did feel a bit clunky, but the more I leveled up and the more damage I was able to make, the more and you know, I got the whole quality and the whole area damage. I did level up the gems to 20, and then I flipped them with the GCP recipe to level 120 quality, and then I was able to use that, and it seems to just do the work just fine. Melee, physical, and maim. So again, chance to bleed, Vaal double strike, ruthless, melee splash, melee fizz, and maim. So yeah, Vaal double strike of course was changed. Like Vaal skills in general will now provide you the normal version of the skill as well as the Vaal version of the skill on the same gem, so you can enjoy the benefits of, you know, you don't need to have another entire setup for your Vaal skills. You can just use it on the same gem, which is pretty sweet change overall. Here we got ourselves an Arctic armor for some physical fire mitigation. There's just another double strike that I was leveling up to maybe use on the shrine. Here's the Ancestral Call. We're just leveling it up and whatnot. Ancestral War Chief will provide us with the, you know, with the buff with the more melee damage while Totem is active. So it's quite a nice little buff. We got 90.7 with this thing on. We got 107, so yeah, about 17k sheet DPS. Feels pretty good, man. Here we got a Blood Rage that I should probably flip and get that attack speed increase with the quality, and I haven't. Nice thing, I noticed this now that I'm not really playing the character anymore. But yeah, Herald of Ash, the Ice Golem, and that's the end game, you know, version of the build. I was leveling it up. I was making all sorts of, you know, changes in the support gems, but that's how it looks in the end. It doesn't necessarily have to be the setup that you're using. I'm just kind of like showing what I've been doing, and it works just nicely. Again, the leech we're getting from the, you know, from the mana on the ring. If you don't have it, you simply grab this node right here, and it should cover all your mana leech needs. For the rest of the rings, we have some physical. I crafted some lightning damage because why not? Some intelligence, some life, the resistances that I needed, and yeah, when it comes to the amulet, I guess I needed the intelligence, which is why I'm using this amulet right now. But generally, it is a crit build, so you want crit chance, crit multiplier. You know, I am playing Soul Self-Found, and this is my my third. What did I do first? I guess I did the Wander, and then I did that one. Yeah, too many characters, getting confused here. But yeah, so this is my third character, and I mean, I just need to fill in the intelligence, and that's just what it is. So the amulet, of course, could be better, but it works just fine. Basically, you do want the crit multi if you have an access to Shaper's amulet, which is, you know, you can get these extra damage mods on the amulet. Pretty good stuff if you have access to, you know, Assassin's Mark on hits, stuff like that. You can definitely use that, and it really depends on the kind of stuff that you personally have. Here we got some elemental damage with attack jewels. Pretty sweet. We got all that sword, you know, elemental damage. Definitely adds a little bit of extra right here, you know, so it's not too bad. We're not scaling too much physical, but I mean, it does definitely help, giving us the chance to shock, the freeze, and all that stuff. On the belt, we do have a Stygian Visor, just life resists, LA damage with attacks, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So there goes our mana reserve and our golem right here. And yeah, when it comes to flasks, last word, flasks are Bubbling of Staunching, Chemist of Iron Skin, right here. Although, like, it's not particularly necessary to have that Iron Skin, but I do have some armor from, you know, Lore Weave, and some armor here or there. So it just gives us a little bit of extra armor. Couldn't really come up with a better suffix for that one. We do have our warding, we do have our heat. When it comes to the Pantheon, we are Juggernaut, so we cannot be stunned. Normally I would grab Soul of the Brine King, but cannot be stunned. So Soul of Lunaris, that gives us a little bit of extra fizz damage reduction, chance to avoid projectiles, chance to dodge attacks, and avoid projectiles that have chained is the tier 11 layer map, I believe. Yeah, Midnight Howl. So yeah, I'm not doing it right now because I didn't want to complete this map on my Atlas, so I don't have that one, but you can definitely get all the buffs, all the upgrades to the Major God of Lunaris. Alright, so let's get into a map and do a little bit of a clear. We can run an underground river, we can run, these are the maps that basically I've been running. I shaped Armory, I shaped Waste Pool, and as for the 15, Belfry and Bog. It was kind of like my Atlas strategy for this league, just to get the experience. Bazaar for the Exalted Orb Divination cards that are pretty sweet. But yeah, let's just jump into a map right here. Some extra damage and Feeble. Seems good. We are leap slamming, and it's an excellent movement skill. Like, it's oh no. I actually created another hideout. Never mind, here we go. So, the lovely underground sea. Everything just explodes because of the bleeding explosion. Oh, which reminds me, I actually did not talk about the gloves. The gloves are quite important. They're basically the only unique I'm using for this build. They create these bleed explosions. We can go over that in a moment. But like, yeah, you just come in to a pack and you just one-hit them all. Pretty much. And once you have your double strike, once you have your double strike ready to go, it's basically releasing these two vicious double strike Scion girls that will clear up everything for you and will add some substantial boss damage. Now, the way I do it is I stack the the double strike 2 charges. It actually has charges, and I stack both of the charges, and then I activate both of them, because if you have just one, the second one won't charge up. So you gotta wait until you have 2, because you can't have both of them charging up at the same time. They didn't want the skill to like overlap and you'll have it active all the time. It would have been nice if you could use the 1 charge and then stack the second charge and then activate when the 1 charge ending, but yeah, it's not the way it works. So you're stacking up 2 charges, you're on the grind, things drop in the video game, you pick them up, and like that's pretty much the idea. Let's find the entrance to the boss room so we can. Oh wait, actually there's Alva. What do we got? Of course we're getting some shitty rooms as always. Monster pack size in the temple. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. So everything just explodes. A very, very smooth character. Of course, it is a melee character, so you gotta be up and close to the monsters, which can create some interesting situations. But it's just like a different playstyle. I'm normally playing, well, I don't know, I'm playing everything these days actually. Can't really say I'm playing spellcasters anymore, which I used to, but anything good? Just, yeah, no. Boss should be somewhere. There's a Varisi here. So yeah, normally you're getting hit. You see, you're getting both your frenzy charges from Blood Rage, your um, power charges from the Blasphemy, Assassin's Mark, and your endurance charges from the Ascendancy. So it turns out to be a quite a well-rounded character in the end. Just pop your Vaal guys or girls in this case, and there it is. The boss is just insta-dead pretty much. So yeah, this is the build. I've had a blast leveling it up and mapping with it. We did all the way to 92.65. At this point I'm not playing the character anymore, but I did think it is worthwhile giving you guys a little bit of you know, it's kind of like a milestone for what I've been doing with myself in Path of Exile. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a very fun melee class. Also, when it comes to transmogs, I do use Loreweave that I was able to get, but I mean, any other. Initially, I was using that body armor. I got this one from farming the Dapper Prodigy divination cards that show up in Residence map. So initially I had this map shaped to tier 12, and I had just a bunch of Residence map, and I was grinding those with the Wander, farming those divination cards to get 6-link level 100 body armor, as you can see. And I got this one, so it fit perfectly with this character, but then I did collect the 60 rings. I did manage to link. This is the first time this is my first chest that I'm actually able to link after about 4.5 to 5,000 fusing orbs, which is kind of unlucky in the Soul Cell found, but hey, it's fine. We're way past that. It was a long time ago. I haven't tried linking anything yet, which is why I have some fusings and some jewelers, but yeah, I'm a bit scared trying to link the next thing for the next character, but it should be fine. One last word about the hemophilia that I wasn't mentioning. It basically just gives you a chance to bleed, bleeding enemies explode, dealing the 5%. So you get these blood explosions. Blood explosions really helps out with the clear. Overall, feels really nice. With the chance to bleed, you can use, you can use like a different pair of gloves, like for example spike gloves with increased melee damage with attack speed and all that, but I thought that in order to have the chance to bleed more consistent, especially like the first hit, then the additional hemophilia gloves would work in quite nicely. But of course you can totally change those and use whatever you want. The thing is, Vaal Double Strike is pretty strong, and if you like melee characters, I do strongly recommend you guys to play it. It is very smooth leveling, and you can get to maps fairly easy. I mean, the damage of Vaal Double Strike is pretty ridiculous. As you're leveling up, it just clears up everything. So that would be it from me for right now. Thank you very much everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.